What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk about Palantir, ticker is PLTR. So what a day we are having. Very much red. I do want to talk on though why right now is the best time to buy into Palantir, and I will go over some updated data points very relevant to a lot of investors and tie it all together with some technical analysis. But before I get into any of that, you guys know the deal. Smash your thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom screen. Greatly appreciate that. With that, let's get right to it. So as you can see on the intraday chart, had a little bit of a sell-off, and by little I mean a lot, and it bounced back pretty severely. So again, the bounce back is more so on a technical front. Again, I'm going to do a little bit of technical analysis near the end, but I did buy in. There was a lot of value at this price, so I did buy in at $12.10, so very much a massive discount. So I'm going to touch on why this sold off as much as it did, go over some updated data points. So for the most part, this did sell off because again, there is a huge anticipation for this upcoming Wednesday, so the Fed interest rate decision. So a lot of people are anticipating a massive bloodbath continuation up until then. There is, again, a lot of people are saying that they are going to increase the rates to around 0.5%. I personally do feel that they're going to maintain the 0.25, but again, I could be wrong. In addition to that, it's not really helping that there are large YouTubers that are always shocked about the price that are saying that you need to sell. So again, it's one of those things that a lot of people are aiding into the fear. And not only that, my favorite Morgan Stanley, which doesn't seem to help anyone whatsoever, is saying and warning people against buying growth stocks. And for the most part, we all know that Palantir is a iconic growth stock, so there is that attribute to that as well. Again, going back to the point that there is a lot of fear when it comes down to, I'm just going to go over some short info. So as of right now, technically the short interest is 5.86, utilization is 763, pretty stagnant in the day, so 39,000 shares being returned. And the reason why I bring up short interest, not necessarily because it's going to be a short squeeze, but these are the individuals that are contrary to what you actually do believe in, so I just like to bring that up. And in addition to that, I want to go over some options. So you can see technically the options data for today, 37% of all the orders are fairly positive, 41 orders in total, totaling about $4.6 million just in orders today. So again, there is a lot of big money getting into Palantir. So with that, I just want to touch on some institutions and hedge funds. So you can see the new rounds of 13Fs have been coming out. So as of you can see, majority of them have been holding their position. Some have actually increased their position or started a new one. So there is all over the place. A lot of people are in reality very much bullish on Palantir, and you can tell that based on the 13Fs. Again, majority of them are actually maintaining their position. Very little are closing out the position. So that's definitely, again, a very good attribute. A lot of retail investors really do like to look at this. And I just want to show you the live ticker. So as you can see, currently down roughly about 6%. Volume is 92 million leading into power hour, and whereas the average is 41. So definitely double the volume, huge amount of institutions buying, and you can tell that based on the block volume column. So 9.7 million shares being purchased by institutions today alone. So again, going back to what I was just talking about, there is a huge institutional presence in Palantir, and we all know that. And again, when it comes down to this much heavy of a volume, a lot of value. And a lot of institutions, hedge funds love value, as do myself. Keep in mind though, I'm not a financial advisor, do your own due diligence. But regardless of all the negativity around growth stocks and interest rates and so forth in the market, there is still a lot of articles that are coming out that are very bullish. So down 45% since November, is Palantir stock a good buy? I do really like this because it goes over a lot of good points, which are a lot of the same points that I personally do really like about Palantir. So it brings up their government contracts, on how that is basically a guaranteed source of revenue for a long-term period, and they have been growing their consumer base as far as that front for quite some time. And on a quarter-to-quarter basis, they've been increasing revenue all the time. So just the fact that Wall Street is having a difficult time of determining how much of Palantir is worth, that's the only factor that's causing it. Just because it goes down and up as far as the price, that means nothing. The day-to-day business has not changed and does not stop because it's now at $12. It does not stop if it goes down to $10 or $15, whatever it is. The day-to-day business of Palantir still continues on. Will still continue to increase their revenue, and with that though, they do have their upcoming earnings. So again, that is a huge reason why you need to buy, especially going into that. So I do strongly feel, based on everything, that the price will correct closer to that date. So like I said, these are great buying opportunities if you are a long-term investor on Palantir. And with that, I'm just going to do a little bit of technical analysis. So as you can see, at the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, tickers, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So everything that you need to know coming from an investor standpoint. Momentum though, unfortunately, like I said, because of most likely these individuals, Morgan Stanley, some other individuals out there, number of buyers is down dramatically. So you can see based on the momentum indicator. And stochastic indicator is currently at 2, which is extremely low. RSI is currently at 17. And the reason why I have RSI and stochastic on there is those are two indicators that a lot of algorithms from institutions and hedge funds use to determine buying opportunities. So RSI, whenever that is below 30, and stochastic 20, which both are technically, those are great buying opportunities and are signals by institutions. Again, you taking a look at the block volume column, the live ticker, now 9.7 million shares being purchased just today alone by institutions. So again, going back to the point, I always watch the technicals. But keep in mind though, the technicals are by no means a magic crystal ball or anything like that. It just gives you a good representation of what possibly could happen in the future. So given the huge drop in momentum, looking at the actual chart though, we're technically well below all the moving averages. We are technically lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. And the reason why we did bounce back as much as we did today is when you do break outside the Bollinger Band without a justified good catalyst to keep you down there, you do bounce back in. So that's what happened today. But for the most part though, we have been hugging the lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, which unfortunately is a very bearish sentiment. With that, I'm just going to touch on some resistance and support levels. So as you can see, first, second, and third resistance points, 14, 14, and 15. So fairly up there. On the contrary, first, second, and third support levels. So you can technically see we did break past all of that. So again, that definitely does show that we could be heading for a lower level, again, depending on how the rest of the week turns out. And again, cycling back to this, depending on how this works out. The interest rate decision is going to be a very big determination factor of how the remaining week goes. And do anticipate that there's going to be a lot of volatility on Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to this. So just keep that in mind as well. On days like this, when there is a massive sell-off, these are great buying opportunities, especially for Palantir, which has a very good revenue source. And not only that, it is very good for investors to get in. With all that though, let me know your thoughts on Palantir in the comments below. If you haven't already, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. Don't forget to take a look at my Discord, link in the description below. It's a free chat that brings individuals together with the common theme of investing, making money, all that fun stuff. So definitely join, it's a good place to be. With that, let's all make a lot of money on Palantir.